Morning peeps, welcome back to Old Yorkshire Git Tries. My name's Russ and we're playing Final Fantasy XIV part 1227. Nearly out past 12. Oh, I know these jokes are getting on. Oh, news this morning, bloody hell, out screaming at the telly. Bloody Labour government, bunch of liars. Oh dear. How did they think they could hide a £35 billion debt? How? They told us it was 3.5 billion over the period of time of these Chagos Islands in the middle of the Indian Ocean, which, being ex-forces, are of strategic importance. They should never have given it back, but hey, that's gone now. But to tell us it was only 3.5 billion and it's actually nearly 35 billion. How do they think they could get away with that? Of course, they say, no, it wasn't us, it was the Tories, they left. No, you lied. If they'd have come out and said, Tories have left us in this mess and it's going to cost us 35 billion, okay, we wouldn't have been happy, but it was the truth. No, you lied. You told us it was 3.5. It's going to fall, isn't it? There's going to be a civil war. It's going to be Roundheads and Cavaliers again, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going off on one. How are we all doing today? I hope you're all well, keeping fit. I was up at crack of dawn this morning, and our dubs. So we went and did a shopping first thing. Just a few little bits, because our dubs goes back to work tomorrow, so stuff for her lunches and things like that. Anyway, scanning device. Oh, that's right, we're going upstairs, aren't we? Come on then. Swipe your card. Here we go. Yes, it opened. Duh. Okay, spleen. So, where should we go first? The Deutero lab or facilities? Let's start with the lab. Okay. Right, we're off to the lab, which is that way. Right, glue jar. There doesn't seem to be any power. It's possibly the supply to the room is on separate conduit. There should be a contingency for opening the door. There's a sign above the scanner. In case of emergency, backup power can be rerouted from facilities. Oh, we're off to facilities then. Right, speak with... Oh, it's going to be one of these ones, isn't it? Speak with Shale. Here we go. So I'll have a sip of my brew while I'm waiting. Cheers, peeps. Engaging power supply. No good, it's returning an error. There must be a preliminary procedure. According to the error code, or is it 404? Page can't be found. If the power supply has been interrupted, then we need to reconfigure both the emergency generator and the circuit control panels. That's the emergency generator over there. It's the same model as the one in Heritage. How does it send power to the other lab? Oh, I see. The energy cable attached to the base of the terminal leads down the hall directly to the Deutero lab, which means we need a way to connect the generator to that cable. No, we've got a puzzle. Been a while since we had one of these. Hey, here we go. Thank you very much. What about those patterns? Could that be the circuit we need to configure? I believe you have the right of it. Right, we can see where it comes in and we can see where it goes out. Come on, get onto the puzzle. Come on, Albert, you can do it. Right. Which pattern will I set? Circle first. Oh, right, we've got to swap them. I've got you. So, well, it won't be that one. Let's try swapping it with a triangle. Oh, it turns it as well. Oh, we're getting smarty pants, are we? Oh no, it stayed the same. Right, so I'll get that, I know. So we would want see if we put the square, hang on, if we put the square there, we line that one up, there's nothing there, and the other one going that way will not line up with anything. So that one needs to swap with the square one. Like so, there we go. Then we want, I think we need a circle here. No. Right, diamond, triangle. Got it. Do, 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 do. It worked. We did it, Albert. Uh-huh. Well done. Let's go to Jutro Lab. Could we access a certain data log before moving on? I was checking the storage shelves. One of the labels caught my eye. Preservation, the early days. Yeah. Whatever that was. I'll take a moment to bring up the contents. Looks to be a text-based account. I'll read it out. On the Alexandrian Institute, technology development was founded by Calix. Approval for establishing the organisation came during Alexander's in the storm surge. As the conflict grew, casualties mounted. Calix funneled preservation resources towards perfection of memory storage. Blah blah blah. So this account is from before he embraced his endless existence hundreds of years ago. I met him only once before the storm surge began, says Spleen. I was attending my father, who was then the reigning king of Alexandria. Blah, 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 blah. Life should not, he said, life should not be lost to the injustice of death. Even now I can hear the single-minded will behind his words. So it was that, when war came to our kingdom, my father was quick to commit his unwavering support to this sombre youth. So you had no way of knowing what kind of person Calix was changing into. Did he change? I wonder. Perhaps he has never been the type to value ideals over compassion. Right, loads of chit-chat, not interested. We can't allow him to shape our future. We know that, so let's crack on, love. Alright, too much chat. Have you seen those memes where a bloke or a group of men will look at the camera, and the girlfriends or the wives or whatever are behind her, and they go, here's something that a woman cannot do, and then they shut up, and the woman starts going, what are you talking about, blah blah, and they're going on and on and on, and the bloke just sits there smiling, and it says, and then it comes up in little letters, did you get it? And yeah, I got it straight away. They can't shut up. The bloke just shuts up, but the women all start. Yeah, they can't. They have to. There has to be voices. And I get it every time. There's loads of it. It just creases me up every time I see it. And the women are going, I don't know what you're talking. What are you going on about? What can't I do? What you can do? And I'm thinking, just shut up and think. It just makes me giggle. Oh, I like a good giggle. There was on the TikTok about. I was watching one, and it was about these TikTokers who go on TikTok or on YouTube even, and give it the old. You don't have to pay your debts. You don't owe anybody any money. Don't pay your credit cards. Don't pay this. Don't. And I'm thinking, yeah, until they come knocking on your door and they take everything you own. People stop and they think, oh yeah, that's a good idea. No, it's not. And then one bloke was on there. Sorry, I'm sorry, you really got me go this one. And he's saying, sad to say, he was an English guy as well, a northerner. And he said, when you borrow money from the bank, you don't need to pay it back. So if you get yourself a bank loan, do not pay the direct debits or, the monthly payments. Because the way banks works is you put money in the bank and then they lend it back to you. So all you're doing is borrowing your own money, so you don't have to pay it back. Well, on that premise, mate, let me put it this. I wish I could have been arguing with him face to face. So if you've got £200 in the bank and you decide I'm going to borrow £10,000 to buy a new car, and I've got, £5,000 in the bank saved up in my savings, then you've borrowed £5,000 of my money. Not your money, my money. So if you're not going to pay it back, I'm going to take the car off you and sell it. You get me gist? And I was sat there thinking, are these people... I don't know whether these people are the stupid ones or the people that take their advice are the stupid ones, or they're both stupid. I don't know, but... well, certainly over here, and I guess it's the same it is over the pond, Canada, United States, well, most places really, Europe. You do something like that and then they get debt collectors in or repo men and they take everything off you and you end up having to pay for it through we don't do it over here, I don't think, but they do over states where they take it out of your monthly wage, like 25% of your wages goes to pay off the debt. The thing is, it's your credit score, it's your credit rating. So if you're, I don't know, in your early 20s and you think, oh, this is a good idea, I can save some money. No, because by the time you get yourself a nice girlfriend, you decide to marry, you go to get a mortgage or get a rental agreement or want to buy a car, and they go, no, because your credit score's crap. You got in trouble, and you're not going to be able to even going for a job now. I know jobs do credit scores, especially if there's money involved. If you're running a shop, you don't want somebody working on a till who's got the worst credit score going and is in debt up to the eyeballs, because you could think, well, my till's going to be down every night, isn't it? Not everybody, but you're going to stop and think, oh, that's me, right? Oh, it's got me going today. Sorry about that. Shale. No, not Kaluja. Shale. Right, reconfigure that door before I get off on a rant again. Give me some fighting to do. Ooh. Complete. I'll take the gold because I don't need any food. I don't know if the food... Mind you, it's not high quality food, so it won't probably give me a lot. Sad news about Jim Lovell passing away. Bless him. I still think Apollo 13's cracking film. Oh dear, see, I was around when that was happening, and we were all stuck to the telly watching the news. Oh dear, frightening. And bless him, passed away. And who else? Ray Brooks. Most of you would go, who's he? People of my age know Ray Brooks. He was the voice of a children's, I was going to call it a cartoon, but animated children's thing going back when animation was very poor. So it'd be just like a drawing, and then they'd move a figure sideways. That'd be his movement or head turn. And it was called Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben. And he always went to this dressing up shop, and he had a different adventure every episode. And Ray Brooks was the voice. He's also done a lot of filming, a lot of acting, and he was in a brilliant series in late 80s, early 90s, and it was called Big Deal. I loved it. I thought it was great. But he'd got one of those enigmatic voices. You could listen to his voice all day long. Yeah, very good. He was also in the movie Doctor Who Dalek Conquest Earth 20 whatever it was, 2025 or something like that. Not the film came out, that was the title. He was in that as well. Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. Just a lot happening. Read it paper, watch it telly. Oh, bless. Oh, we're right into the Dewberry. Smooth the silt. Let's head inside and see what awaits. Okay. There'll be a thing at the end, won't there? A battle, a raid, or a dungeon. Gods above, isn't that? Isn't it what? That key. It was the key to interdimensional fusion. That looks to be a schematic on the monitor, and they've used it to make another key, but isn't it missing the shard inside like the one Albert has? We may have been labouring under a misconception. The key was originally a Malala relic. Once this treasure came into its possession, preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that all the vessel's components were constructed here. So what might that tell us? The crystal itself is the key. Oh, this is just the device they made to control it. I'll go with bottom one. I might have been wrong. That would be a logical conclusion, yes. It is as my parents explained. Oh, got it right. The key remains shrouded in mystery. Preservation augmented it with electro, but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion. Not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, nor why. Nor why. Isn't that a country near Sweden? Oh, get me caught. Now it makes sense. Calix can track the key because its vessel was made by preservation. I believe there is much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist Ishtola's assistance for a thorough investigation. Ish, I haven't seen Ish for a while. I too am curious. But pinning down Calix whereabouts is our priority. The research conducted in this lab appears to have been highly confidential. Some of the personnel must have belonged to the organisation's upper echelons. That means a higher security clearance, which should spread out. Remember, anything less than a level 3 is no good to us. Right, let's go and have a butcher's. Alright, storage crate. None of security cards, okay. Looks like they're 3D printing another one. And another. And another. Mind you, I thought I saw in that first room we was in, when we before we opened the door right at the beginning. Somewhere around there was a 3D printer, I thought. Whoa. Alright, we've got something over here. Cabinet drawer. Ooh. You find a security card. What a stroke of luck. Let's have Shale examine it to be sure. A level 3, that should get us into the director's office. So was it what you were hoping to find? You were saying a certain device was going to help us. Right, I haven't properly explained myself, have I? I'm looking for a data relay. After we discovered this ostensibly abandoned complex, I performed a cursory investigation which detected a connection to an outside network. When I traced the route in, I confirmed traffic from a web of Everkeep security cameras. Considering the way Calix is always one step ahead of us, we must assume he's quietly seized control of the surveillance system and has been using it to monitor our activities. To monitor what you, as the key holder, are planning. But since Calix is the ultimate recipient of those transmissions, the flow of data is like a river that we can follow, which is why I need the data relay. If I can analyse it, I can see where it's going, basically. Then you can pinpoint Calix's position. That said, he has done nothing to impede our progress, which makes me think I might be on entirely the wrong track. Maybe the reason he isn't stopping us is because he can't. Back in the old castle, Calix said he was measuring Albert's strength. What can he possibly dream up that's stronger than him? Ooh. Well, we can guess. Speaking of cameras, something I forgot to mention, I found evidence that someone deliberately disabled the surveillance feed in this room. The most recent recording was also deleted. I was able to restore the data though if you'd like to see it. Okay. I'll start the show then. Hey, sit down, get a bag of popcorn. Big bottle of Pepsi.
To renounce our conventional wisdom. Death is the means by which life prunes its branches,
Agree.
leaving the trunk to grow strong and tall.
Yeah.
We die so that our species may flourish.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What would become of mankind were we to halt that process? If unending stagnation is the fruit of our labor, then perhaps we strive for the wrong thing.
Is a rejection of Master Calix's vision.
I suppose it is. Perhaps such dread would not plague me, were I capable of sharing his perspective on the subject. But I cannot. He and I are too different, in too many ways. I lack his extraordinary genius. I had no illness threatening to cut my life short, no singularity of will to cut away all distractions and focus solely upon research. I have nothing but respect for his determination, the way he overcame his prognosis and seized the means to transcend death itself. But I'm not convinced that this obsession with living is the right path. That's why I've decided to leave preservation and put all my effort towards building a legacy for the next generation to come. Surely you...
Oh. You shot her. Ah, you bastard.
Protocol, you understand. There can be no exceptions.
Wow. She only wanted to leave and he executed her. Yeah, why not just let her leave? I checked the images against the personal data. The man who pulled the trigger was Director Demetrius himself. Everything I could find on him pointed to a deep infatuation with Master Calix. Saying nothing. The cameras in this room have been out of operation ever since that incident. Given that the recording was erased, I can only assume he was trying to conceal his grisly deed from the other researchers. I'm not surprised given how my parents described their defection from the Institute. They spoke of rushing me through a portal even as preservation agents closed in on them. I dared not ask what became of them after that, but if it turns out they were captured by their pursuers... Yeah. They did not regret their actions. I'm sure they managed to escape. Oh. Oh. Top one. They're giving a false hope. I want to believe they did, and even if they didn't, I hope they at least enjoyed what time they had as endless. Oh, cryo. Worry not, Spleen. Thanks to the Haven of Living Memory, I was at least able to meet my parents and learn what they stood for. It's enough for me to carry on. Even now, we don't know how the conflict unfolded between your parents and preservation, but what we do know is that your mother and father cleverly expunged every last trace of their movements. They made sure no one could cross into the source or threaten their child's safety. Right, let's press on. This tale behind the key deserves a fitting conclusion to the director's office. Halfway. Right. To director's office. Let's head inside. So this is the director's office. Okay, we'll speak to Shale. Damn, this terminal isn't connected to any outside networks. It can't be the data relay I'm looking for. It's also smaller than the map suggested. Positive we're in the right room. What am I missing? Secret passage. Search for clues. Soul cell storage case. Oh. Amongst other personal effects, you find what is presumably the director's data tablet. A closed locker stands beside the table. Examine the data tablet. Skim through the contents. Section will you read? daily reports. Nothing of note. The mystery of the key's activation condition remains unsolved. The key triggered an explosion today. Temporarily interdimensional portal verified. 13 researchers sustained fatal injuries in the explosion. Nothing of note. Rejected resignations of 2 Malala researchers. Major incident details in full report. 2 inept Malala who broke with preservation absconded with the key. Though the fugitives have since been caught and eliminated, we were too late to recover the relic. Oh, that's her mum and dad, I bet. The only reason we retained our flesh was to serve Master Calix as physical instruments. Deprived of the object of our research, our existence serves no further purpose. I dare not imagine the depths of his disappointed in me. Complex is to be shut down. All personnel will have their bodies reduced to ether. Memory data will be archived. Any endless conversation will be subject to Master Calix's discretion. Shutdown protocols. All personnel have undergone processing. Once the shutdown protocols have been completed, I'll go with my own corporeal blah blah blah. As long as the key remains in the physical world, we must keep this complex in pristine condition. To that end, facility equipment will be maintained in stasis mode. Furthermore, a critical component for security room access will be stored separately to defend against unauthorized entry. Right. Oh, maybe I should have checked the locker. Having lain dormant for years, the now active coffee maker has already entered a self-cleaning cycle. It appears no further purpose beyond brewing coffee, though it remains to be seen when it will be able to do so once more. Office shelves. Crumple note. Secure room lift access. Require passwords to be input simultaneously at terminals in the Proto Lab and the Jucho Lab and the Director's office. Oh, hang on. That's lit up again now. Open the locker. Whoa. Well, not really creepy. Whoa, a bit dodgy. You kiddie fiddler. Have you found something? Give her the note. With instructions for accessing a secure room, no less seems we need to enter a password on 3 different terminals at the same time. There was no such room marked on the map, was there? No. Preliminary measure, no doubt, and if passwords are involved, I expect the lift access is concealed too. Concealed by electrode, you mean? Could it be that world, though it seemed odd when I walked past? Remember what Kakipu used to say, Shale, never trust an electrope surface? Electrope isn't always what it appears to be. You can pass right through electrope. Truly, it never had that property in my time. Albert is having a little fun, I think. What we mean is electrope can project a false appearance, in which case it shouldn't be too hard to disable. There we go. There's the lift. But we need the passwords. The lock is another story. The note lay out the password protocol. I say we go ahead and try it. 2 people should prepare the lab terminals for input while the rest of us look for the passwords in the office. I'll take this. Yeah, you go there, you go there. Might be better if you stayed, Spleen. Your knowledge of Alexandria and its people could be needed here. Right. I'll take the Jutro lab, says Cryo. Will she be able to reach the computer? She'll have to get a chair to stand on. Once you've determined that we need input, take your place at this terminal. You know, there was that display plate over there, the one with the gems. Can't find any switches or buttons. Maybe you could figure it out. Itchy nose, sorry. Oh, we got another puzzle. Wee-hee, I like puzzles. Let's have a look. 2 jewels are embedded in the electrode plate. You identify the blue gem as sapphire and red gem as garnet. There's an empty slot. I think those are the passwords. Garnet, sapphire, and whatever the other one is. Let's try the locker again. Nope. Cluttered side table. I didn't see anything on the data tablet. Well, this is the only last place to look, isn't it? And the only other thing would be open the locker. But there's nothing in the locker. What am I missing? Speak with everybody. Solve the puzzle. Hey, we got it. Just need to speak to somebody. Right. Floor plan. So the Proto Lab is Sapphire. Alexandrite's the director's office. Garnet is the Jutro Lab. Glowing words appear to be handwritten. I knew the jewel would come in handy. Let me see. What does the word say? Heed the stones. This must be about the special meanings. Alexandria like it's no belief. I think there's a type of gem means something different. I bet if you ask Spleen, she could tell you more about it. But I can't get out. I'm stuck. Ah, there it was. Right, Spleen. The symbolism of a lancer, I was taught the represents the concept of protection. So protection would be the director's lab. Sapphire represents honesty, and Garnet devotion. Let's try them. Oh, bugger. So Alexandrite is director's office, so that's protection. Sapphire is the Proto Lab. I should have written them down, shouldn't I? Sapphire means honesty. So, Proto Lab. See if I got it right. I've got loads of post-it notes I could have quickly written. We got it. Right. Just waiting on Krylin. Laundromat. Alright everyone, time to board the lift to see what awaits us. If it's a dungeon, then we'll be finishing early. Come on, Shale, do your stuff.
This terminal doesn't look special to me, but this is definitely what we're after? It is. But whether or not it will suffice for our purposes is another question.
Oh, scan the barcode, see what comes up.
The Endless are created using the memories of the deceased. But as memories are, in essence, collections of data, the resultant entities have no physical form. These data entities, as we might call them, have only two methods for interacting with the material world. One of these we saw in Living Memory, where the Endless are granted temporary bodies through the use of corporeal ether. They become much like solid ghosts that one can see and touch. The other method, which Kafkiwa employed, is the remote operation of a machine. But where do you suppose the Endless are to be found when not inhabiting a physical body?
In the robots, soldiers. In the coffee machine.
Memories, and if memories are data, then
Fridge, cooker. In a world formed of data.
yes, we suspect they reside in a virtual domain, one contained entirely within an electro-based machine. We've seen such a realm before, after all.
Oh, you mean like the Alexandria made from the Endless Fiend's memories? It all seems so real.
So this virtual domain, it would also be housed within the Meso terminal.
But how? I thought we shut down all the terminals in Living Memory.
Obviously not.
You did. And Kafkiwa's program performed just as she intended. The Meso terminal itself was deactivated, as evidenced by the failure of the device which was keeping Spheen's body in stasis. Be that as it may, we face a master of electrope engineering. That he managed to partition and protect the sector harboring his own memories is well within the bounds of possibility.
Let us say that the Meso terminal does indeed contain a second domain, and that Calyx himself resides there. This city, on the other hand, exists here in the source. That being the case, I thought perhaps we could prevent his remote interference by closing the gate to the Golden City, and thus severing the connection between worlds.
Ooh.
Except I tried to close it once already when I visited Living Memory. The process required administrative authorization, a restriction I assumed at the time had been imposed by the Queen. But now you think Calyx might be responsible? Just as I suspected. Even now, security transmissions from throughout the keep are being tapped by the core system and routed elsewhere. Almost every single one has you as its focus. He's keeping track of the keyholder's movements.
Albert's always been popular, hasn't he?
Time's up. And what a waste of time it's been.
Oh, is that the director? Or Calyx? Calyx.
Hoping to find me by tracing the security data? That will not be necessary. Through a not inconsiderable effort, I've taken your measure and prepared a force sufficient to subdue you. Come. I invite you to the upper reaches of the Meso Terminal. The storage device which holds my memories is there. Break the memory bank and victory is yours. I, in turn, will seek to wrest the key from you with any and every means at my disposal.
And if we refuse this invitation?
I will wait and continue to convert Alexandrians into Endless. Consider the urgency of the situation and make the wiser.
Choice. Wiser choice, he said. I pressed the button too quick.
The Endless Fiend. When she was queen, you had her face an impossible task, then manipulated her into using the key when she was at her most desperate. If you can do all that, then why not whisk it away when her plans went to ruin? Why let it fall into our hands?
You pour salt in the wound. That disaster was a miscalculation on my part. As her end drew near, Sphene and her restructured memories have become one with the terminal's control systems. In that singular place, in that singular moment, she wielded an authority greater than mine. Thus she was able to shield you, the neighboring sovereign to whom she entrusted her nation's future, and the hero to whom she entrusted that priceless key. I am unsure to what degree she perceived my presence, but she knew that someone was watching. Does that satisfy your curiosity?
Okay, let's get on with it. Not today, though.
It does. And I'm satisfied that you will take nothing more from this nation. Not one more life, not one more future, not one single smile from another child's face. You hear me? Sorry for losing my temper, but there's only one way we can deal with people like Calyx.
True.
Whatever grand future he envisions, someone will be made to pay the price. And I won't let that happen.
Good old laundromat. I'm with you. Yeah, short and sweet, Albert. No other option, love.
I realize it is not my place to say this. Even so, I must thank you both.
Oh, right, I thought you were going to try and talk him out of it. I was going to say, what?
On behalf of my other self, allow me to say how grateful I am to have you as our champions.
We haven't won yet, love. That was an adventure. May not have been by the method Shale was hoping for, but at least now we know where to find Calyx and what we need to do next. While I remain curious about Preservation's research into the key, that is an investigation for another day. Woohoo! Let's head straight to the back room. We should get everyone on the same page before we make our move. Right, quickly with Shale. Damn that bastard Calyx. He waited until I was this close before snatching away my triumph. And the condescending way he spoke to us, we'll see whose time is up, you smug little weasel. We learned a great deal about preservation. That knowledge will come in handy. May not be able to contribute much in a direct confrontation, but I mean to see this through with you all. Right, so next chat is with Spleen. But not today. We got any chairs? Oh, but you can't take a seat. Can we have a sit down here? Come on, Albert, you know the routine. Say thank you to the boys and girls. Have a pew. Can he drink a cup of tea? Oh yeah, oh right, there we go, he's having his brew. Right peeps, whatever you're up to today, as always, have a fantastic Monday. But until then, I'll see you.